Forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare, side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners, wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection, and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
Na 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 na. Whoa, 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 whoa. Life is so good to me. Life is so good to me. Whoa, whoa, yeah. From your wake up this morning, you's a winner. Yeah, 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 yeah. From your wake up this morning, you's a winner. Yeah, yeah. Watch out, Jaja. Here we love and life now. Everywhere is vibes now. Whoa, I say watch out, Jaja. Bring woman so nice now. What more could I ask for? Beside a woman in front to go down and walk up she waist and get on and mind that she body can wind up no more. Cause life is short and tomorrow not sure, so I live like it's my last. Oh, drinks in me and now. Jump up and wave is the plan now. Just love and girl with the man now. Whoa, cause the things so sweet, yeah. Sometimes I feel like I don't wanna go home, no. Cause the things so sweet, yeah. Sometimes I feel like I don't wanna leave, oh no. Right now I feel like a jam down, I feel like a wind down, I
energy, music, and vibes to start your day right.
Life is so good to me. Life is so good.
Yes, indeed. Recognizing the fact that life is good to you. And you get up this morning, so you know what? You are a winner. Winner's row this morning. Good morning, Trinidad. Good morning to Tobago. Neighbors in the Caribbean, good day to you. Friends who are streaming all around this beautiful globe, this planet. Good morning to you, and of course, welcome to our slice of paradise. This beautiful place that we call Trinidad and Tobago. This is the home. New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio. Taking you above and beyond the heartbeat of the Caribbean. So good day to everybody. Wake up, rise up. I want to say much thanks to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day. All that we do, dear God, let it be a blessing, honor to you. People say, Charles, that's me. Happy am I to be in the land of the living and being here with you this morning. I'm even happier that, you know what, that we got this show. And we have one of the best teams on the inside. So, everybody, welcome. This is your Get Up and Go. We welcome you to the breakfast show.
Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line, let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
You ready, Nadia? No. Good morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers. Ooh, you ever wipe something, feel like something in your eye?
Yeah.
And I don't know, something is in my eye, and I've just been trying to get it out, and I can't get it out. I think it might be one of my eyelashes, actually.
Yeah, most of the time it's something like that. They just stick up under there.
Goodness, it just have me very and it has my eyes watering. So just forgive me for just a bit, I just can't seem to get it out, But good morning, we're here. We're happy to be in the land of the living. Condolences to those who would have lost someone, including a businessman who that a video shared late last evening on social media in Carlsonfield, I think it is.
What is going on?
Yeah, well, nobody knows nobody in the area knows him. So it's just crazy. It's a crazy story. I should have shared it last evening. He's a mechanical engineer. Sorry, and he has been identified as Rydal Prasad. He had multiple gunshot wounds, and he was discovered slumped inside of his car in the Carlsonfield area. So lots of news came out last evening, of course. But
sometimes when you hear these things, and sometimes you're watching at the frequency of these things happening, and it does really make you wonder, what it is that that either people are into, or what it is that people are demanding from people. I don't know what to make of it anymore.
Yeah. It's
so in your area, okay, well, this one is a bad man, and this one is that, and you expect certain things, but no,
you just don't know. Because as I say, people are killing people for the slightest thing, and sometimes people are being targeted and they don't even know why. They may have no direct connection. It's just because somebody want to get at somebody and they figure you the easiest target, and the message will be sent and they tackle you. That all these kind of things have been happening for years, and it's just worrisome. I have to say it's worrisome. You know?
This thing called extortion too, eh?
Yeah.
You have some.
You just never know where to draw the connection in terms of some of the crimes that have been taking place. You just never know, you know, and that has to be worrying to just about everybody.
Of course, you should be worried, you know, because like you don't even hear motives being put out. You know, so at least you could guide yourself. You could know what to do. Things are just happening, and you just don't know what to do. You know, nobody's, and these authorities are not giving you no information to say, you know, these are the motives for things that you are seeing happening. So if this is happening to you, come here. If you're getting involved in that, do change your mind. You know, I think these kinds of things are needed.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it'll never come. I don't think those things are going to happen in Trinidad and Tobago. Those. But I mean, it doesn't happen worldwide. Sometimes people get shot and killed out there too, and you just don't know why. You know, sometimes they might just be in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, or they may just be it might be mistaken identity. It could be so many different things, eh? You know, because as I say, I was nearly a statistic like that, and people might have said all kind of things back then when if that bullet had hit me in my head. The time, you know what I mean? They probably would have come up with all different manner of reasons as to why he got shot, you know. But that's why you just have to, for people who believe in a higher being, you that's all you can do at the end of the day. Eh? You just have faith that when you move about your daily routine, that you come to no harm. You know, and speaking even as far as accidents are concerned, because there are so many people leaving their homes to go wherever they need to go, and some crazy driver do something, and that's it. The life ends.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. You know.
Yeah. Anyway, you have good news, Sir Charles?
Very good
I know
news,
you had a
man.
nice one you sent us last evening.
Yeah, but I didn't download it. With, you know, I sent it actually for him to try to.
Oh gosh! All right.
The link, you know.
All right. Well, I mean, the good news for some people.
But hold on. Let's still do it right. Hold on. Nice.
Good. So the good news I have is I have some birthday greetings. I have the birthday greeting of my very good friend. He was actually my best man, and he is my son's godfather too. Darian Marcel. A lot of you all will know him. He works at the evening show on the other network. We've been friends for years and years and years and years and years, and business partners too, for years and years and years and years and years. Today he is celebrating his birthday.
Hey,
wish Darian.
I haven't seen him for a while, you know, but I really want to wish him a happy birthday.
Yeah, Darian has had his own personal struggles too, because I mean, he's related his story so much so that he has dedicated a program to cancer on his show. But he struggled with cancer, and I mean, I was there, and I remember those days with Darian and it was really scary. You know what I mean? He has survived it, thank God. And today he is, I don't know if he's cancer free. I think he still has his issues. He would have to go every now and then and do something.
Yeah, you still have to keep going and checking and making sure, you know, that's important.
Yeah, but Darren is one of those fearless ones too, who speaks his mind. A lot of people don't agree with him, but guess what? That's what we've done. That's how we know it for the years that we have been members of the People's National Movement. He was a local government councillor too, and as a vice chairman of the Martin Regional Corporation. So we know the life, you know. So, and not everybody agrees with his style. Not everybody agrees with my style. But guess what? It's our style. So happy birthday, my friend Darian Marcel. Happy birthday also to Maria Strong, my cousin, and Nigel Clement used to be at the SSA, I think. Yeah. Happy birthday, Nigel. Cheryl Licorice and Jameson Riggs, they are all celebrating birthdays today. So happy birthday to them. And of course, in other good news, the Chief Justice yesterday announced his intention to retire not resign, to retire during the course of this law term, and we wish him all the best. He did hint before that he will leave at age 65, even though the extended judges have been extended to age 70. None of them have gone to that age. He was the first one who would have had the opportunity to go to age 70. He decided he is going at before he gets there. So congratulations, and I say best of luck to Chief Justice Ivor Archie on his journey after he steps down from Chief Justice of Trinidad and Tobago. All right.
There was a time, and we really want to wish the Chief Justice all the best in his decisions going forward. Especially if it's your decision, you must know how you gauge in your stuff. I remember there was an interview I did a while back when we were in the other space, and I think it was Miss Beck herself was giving me a rundown. So the life of a parliamentarian, where the time of day it starts, the things that you do throughout the day, and sort of there's plenty work,
Yes.
Non-stop. Sometimes sleeping time is very limited, and that was at the parliamentarian level. I can imagine, higher up the ladder, you were talking about like the Prime Minister and like Chief Justice and those individuals. So
it's public life is a tough life, and a lot of people are not suited for it. But for the ones who work hard and persevere to help people, it's a tough life. It's a tough life. I've only done the local government level, but I can imagine how it is for the parliamentarians and for people in the judiciary and so on, because they have it tough. They have it tough. Even at the level of the magistracy, they have it tough. So all the best to Chief Justice Ivor Archie on your retirement, because you are retiring, at an earlier stage than you could, So all the best to you, sir. I've met the Chief Justice on more than one occasion. As a matter of fact, I told you we sat next to one another in cricket one time. He's been to Rumbox, So congratulations on your journey onwards, right? I've been trying to get an interview with him. I've already set out my feelers for an interview with him.
Yeah, no. He might decide like after that. I could probably talk now about some stuff,
Yeah.
Now that he's not in the hot seat. But something I've been wanting to talk about for the longest while, so I better probably put it in today while we do have Richard who just talk. and then blame everybody else for talking.
Yeah, it didn't pass before you come on, eh?
Yeah. So, the good news was the last.
Just make sure you're not in the backstage, eh? So
no. He can't go backstage. You understand? For him to hear us bad talking him. No, Mrs. Argo tell him. Yeah. Yes. So the government of India is embarking on a program to help locals with prosthetic limbs.
Yes.
I think it's going to be in October and November in that space there. And I can't remember the actual name of the actual grouping, but as I think it came out of the fact that the last time the Prime Minister was here, Mr. Modi, and I think 800 people will benefit from that prosthetic limb program. It's going to be at the Nagaro Center, but I don't have the details. How do you actually access it? But I just found it was a good gesture, and because I know there's a long line for when especially in the healthcare system, the government healthcare system, the wait is long for a lot of things in this country, and where prosthetic limbs are concerned, having personal experience with somebody who needed one years ago, Wendell, and the person was diabetic, lost one leg, and had gone to Mount Hope. They had sent her there to get the application for the limb now. They did all the measurements and things. She came a couple of years after that, lost the second leg. And a couple of years after that, about 2 or 3 years after that, she probably died. She died because of the diabetes and stuff, right?
Yeah.
All this took probably from application probably about 6 or 7 years. And I was the person who had signed with her, so, you know, if anything happened, you could call me, you know, that kind of thing. And after she died, I was actually working a day at Water 2. And they called me about 2 years after she died to tell me that the leg is not ready, to tell her she could come for it.
Oh, gosh.
That whole thing is about 7 or 8 years, you know.
Wow.
That whole process. So you can imagine, you know, so I think people who would be benefiting from it, I don't know what is the process of you getting it. But these kinds of aids that we get, it's very important and helpful.
Yeah.
So I think that's a lot of good news, you know, for people who need that service. That's up to the government of India for assisting, because it's not just here; they do it around the world.
Yeah.
You know, they have done like millions so far, helping people around the world. So thank God that some of these countries have the resource to do these things.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that will add to our good news, and I guess we could go straight into our chat in greeting people. Anthony Tinto at 12:05. Morning, Tinto. How is Canada these days? Getting cold? Valerie Mendoza, morning. Suzanne Jessup, Garfield Hazel, Ava Smith, Margaret Thomas, Marcia Rock, Eunice Dublin. Richard is not here to highlight the comments there, folks. So
yeah.
I'll just go through them quickly, right? Michael Cadet, Wendy Ann and Frank James have a lovely hump day, and of course we would have played the hump video for you too. But Marlon Motley, good morning. Robert Taylor, Julia Batiste, Richard Jeremiah, Far Rockaway, Brennan Smith, Sherwin and Juliet Kerr, Dwayne Sylvester. Today is my wife Damaris' birthday, so happy birthday to Damaris Sylvester. I hope that I pronounced that correctly. From your husband, Dwayne. Okay? Happy birthday, Damaris. Ozzy Molino, Wayne Ramsey, James Kamau, Ingrid Lemmerhurt, that's Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona. Diane Payne, Odell Guy, Carol Guevara, Trinidad Margot, Bridget Buchanan, that's a brand new name. Good morning, troublemakers from New Jersey. She called it us troublemakers. Morning, Bridget. Yeah, I will accept that. Katia Charles, good morning. Bernadette and Nelicia Yates. And Nelicia Gale has stayed up late watching cricket last night. TKR really putting up fantastic performance in the batting and chasing on those runs. Congratulations to skipper Nicholas Puran, who of course scored the winning runs. He made 90 not out.
It was a nail biter. It was a nail biting finish.
It turned out not to be a nail biting finish. Thanks to Nicholas Puran. You know what I mean? It was a pretty good victory by the TKR. We are now into the semi-final. We will await the winner of St. Lucia versus Guyana today. And then we will play that. The winner of that match for the semi-finals and the winner of that game will go straight to the finals. All right? Ella Rizan, Nazir Ali, good morning. Claire Lendor Rollins. When I'm explaining punctuality to the kids, I using Sir Charles as the example. The man don't miss a 6 a.m. That's true, eh? As a matter of fact, Sir Charles, Richard, and I are actually on a joint call every single morning. Sir Charles initiates this call just before 6 o'clock, or maybe 5 to 6, 7 minutes, and we talk all the way up to exactly 6 o'clock, where he will start the show. So Ilarizan, you have a good clock in Sir Charles every morning.
Thanks for taking notice.
Yes. Ann Noel says, good morning, guys. Stellar Services, Helen Prescott, Rena Jennings, Debbie Modest, Diane Payne. The chat is actually on the live screen, folks, just in case you're
so
on the TV and on the live screen. Diane Payne is that way you should say I love you to your family, because you may never get to say it again. Absolutely true. Love you. Say love you to people in general. Slick Money Grip, Marlene Saunders Sobers, we thank God for the gift of life, another opportunity to do good. Dean Allen says, hi everyone, the ex-police commissioner Jacob said that 60% of our murders are cutlass wars. Just maybe you all should interview him on that stat. He doesn't want to do interviews. I had asked him on more than one occasion since he left office.
Who's that?
Alex Hart says, good morning. Birthday greetings, birthday blessings to you, Darian, fellow Virgo. That's from Carol Guevara. Shuma Paul, Diane Payne says, happy birthday, Darian. Sankofa also says, happy birthday, Darian. Sankofa, I know you will call his show later. Gavin Frank, Apollonus, CJ from New York, good morning, hump day, happy hump day. Joyce Phillip, Alistair Hart says, Sir Charles, not this PM, we have only seen her like 5 times since elections. I don't know what was that in connection with.
What is that?
He said, not this PM. We have only seen her like 5 times since elections. I don't know if it's related to something you said.
Probably.
Hard work. The hard work part.
Well, you don't know. People might be working from home and all of them all themselves.
Trust me, she have a lot of, with that cabinet she had there, especially Loose Cannon. Loose Cannon P. She have a lot of work there. Trust me.
You can't sleep.
I get that video from people yesterday. Let me tell you something. I don't watch nothing that man has to say. I don't listen to nothing that man has to say, and I would never share it. But real people sent me that video yesterday. Kenny in Harlem says, good morning, gentlemen. RJ, good morning. Alistair, things flowing since Richard not here. Alistair, you're looking for trouble. Jason Samuel says, poll today's suggestion, should government make the central bank legally disclose to the public all foreign exchange allocations? We could suggest that. We will take that under advisement, Jason, because our guest today will be Mariano Brown. Grand Rising gentlemen from Magic. Larry Charles, good morning. Trini in Boston. Ms. Darby, it was a pleasure meeting you on Sunday. Ambrose Blah, morning to the good men in here. Crash also says, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Prabha Ramdial, morning. Andre Reno says good morning, and David McCarthy also says good morning. All right, those are some of our greetings. We have had others I had to skip.
Okay, so let me say good morning to the people on the WhatsApp. And I've started with Suzanne. Good morning to you. Kenwin, good morning to you. Horatio, good morning. Terry Ann Peters, good day to you. Frank in Aruka, good morning. Ron DeSantis, the most miserable man in the net, good morning to you. Colin in Caronage, good morning. Archbishop Ashton Clark and the Canada crew, good day to you. Kent in Laventel, Zena and the Arima people. Mr. Beeps just coming in there from Pity Valley. Good day to all of you people.
All right, and let's say good morning to Richard Ragoobarsingh. I know he hinted to us he was on when we started to see the comments actually come up.
Get yourself organized.
Where you going again? Where you going?
He's coming along. But
Anyway,
people, hold on there, Wendell. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
Someday.
It's someday. It indeed is.
Hey.
Richard, how are you, sir?
Mike, what do you want to
No, good morning, guys. Good
What is
morning.
he looking for? You lost your cup of coffee or what?
No. This computer, again, for the last 15 minutes, I've been trying to get this computer to work. For some reason, this morning, it was just hell. Everything went haywire, and you know how much times I restart this computer? We started I don't know, about 10 times.
How old is
I was
that?
like, what the hell is going on this morning?
Sometimes they tell you that they need
And I
to
was
go
just
in.
I was so busy trying to do it, I just couldn't even communicate with guys. I'm saying, okay, I'll get in this time, and of course this time never came until now.
Yeah.
So my apologies for my technical difficulties this morning. So it seems as if it's stable now.
Well, we're happy that you got it. You got it up and running.
You got it. You got
news, by the way.
Well, we vocalized it.
Yeah, we vocalized it.
We vocalized some good news this morning. But you have something specific you want to play?
I just had one. I mean, I know Sir George, you said something yesterday, but I saw it this morning, but I was.
That's right. We could always sit another
last night, but so this morning, so I had plans to upload all of that. But I had done one yesterday, which was Trinidad music at a Belgian festival. Like a Belgian festival. So I mean, I have it, so I could play it just quickly.
Yeah.
As a part of the news.
The 8,000 helicopters in the boiler tonight. Put up your helicopter. Wave, 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 wave. Come on. Together. Everybody together, come on. When we roll, ready.
You see the crowd in that place?
Yeah, boy.
Lord. Where is that, though? It's a Belgian festival, but is it in Belgium?
Yeah, Belgium. Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Look like Soca Monarch.
Yes. Beautiful, man.
But initially, I thought it was like one of them there going to sing the song. I realized, wait, no, they're actually just playing music. It's like a dance festival. You know, these EDM concerts.
Yeah.
I know a lot of times in those EDM concerts, they like to play, Denise Belfort as an intro.
Mm-hmm.
Go down.
Yeah,
go down.
yeah.
Go down. And then it's going to that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, EDM music.
Mm-hmm.
So the music is just going on dance.
Yeah.
Sweat.
You see, he didn't say put your rag in here, he say do a helicopter.
Yeah, do the helicopter.
Helicopter.
They learn it very fast.
Yeah.
And DJs over the time have stepped it up with performers and themselves being performers and things to it.
Yes.
It's not the same old DJ in the back room kind of thing. But we're running a little behind time, so let's take the break now, Richard, and we're coming back.
That's
all right, cool. We'll take a little break at this point.
Pay $1 down on higher purchase plans at Furniture Plus. Enjoy fast approval, low interest rates, and up to 36 months financing. Retirees, self-employed, and permanent employees apply today. Buy now, pay later with Furniture Plus credit plans. Conditions apply.
Charm Flair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop, located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charm Flair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davantry tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
All right, so we are back on the Breakfast Show. Of course, this is the point in which we'll do the headlines. And I know Wendell is ready with the Express. Wendell,
yes, I am. So today's Express, September 17th, manslaughter charge for officer as cop laid to rest, and that's the incident at the Ministry of Local Government. One of the other officers have been charged for manslaughter. Yeah, very tragic. Very, very tragic.
Sad story.
Mm-hmm. Man murdered in Audi in Carlson Field, identified as engineer, and I spoke about that earlier on. UE student reported missing after arriving on campus. Students lock police officer into classroom at Presal High School.
That is a story.
Yeah, that story was trending.
That is a bizarre story.
Yes, very.
You think now started sleeping on the work?
Yeah, but it's true and miserable, you know. Chief Justice Ivor Archie announces retirement plan, and we spoke about that. On dominant TKR stay alive in CPL playoffs. Cops in court, $60,000 bail each for alleged bribery. Now, I read that story. That's a crazy story. So well done to the Professional Standards Bureau. I thought they were actually comatose, asleep permanently. But apparently they investigated 3 officers and brought charges against them. All right. And of course, 4 Caribbean countries on Trump major drug transit and producing list. Crazy war talk, that's coming from Nicolas Maduro. And in another story too, a brazen heist of 20 kilograms of marijuana was stolen from the Barataria police station.
Isn't that a crazy story?
They replace it with bricks and styrofoam.
Isn't that a crazy story?
Yeah.
That story is so, I mean, it is farcical if it wasn't so serious.
It just shows how,
because it's, I mean, we have not had incidents before, but in the middle of a state of emergency, the police who are supposed to be in control in terms of, security, I put it in quotes, air quotes, you're in charge of security, etc. And in your own police station, drugs go missing, and they have time to replace it with bricks and styrofoam.
And you understand? But it just goes to show that we still at the point where we don't have proper facilities to store and secure evidence.
So Charles, what are you saying?
Charles, it's about the place, it's the people.
You keep telling commissioners of police, your problem is inside the police service, is not. You have a problem outside, but you have a bigger problem inside.
And because we have a bigger problem inside, I would think that we would have a particular place where we store these things with people who have access, so at least we could keep some record and accountability taking place. Nah, still, come on.
No, but that is highly embarrassing for the TTPS. I'm sorry, TTPS. I mean, that is one of those embarrassing moments.
If I was the police commissioner going down there this morning and deal with
that's embarrassing.
Those two stories that you can pull over a man, you tell him, just give me $6,000. He hand you $5 right away, and you wait for him to bring the $1,000. you want to be stupid. You have to act very stupid, and you reach the rank as sergeant already, and you doing that stupidness. You're a criminal, allegedly. Well, they name them, the officer's name. They've been charged. So, all you can find is story. All you will get people to say, "Oh God, when they're going after police again." Lincoln will call in and talk about it.
No, but that story. That story of the marijuana being replaced is incredulous.
But it's not just that.
Incredulous. If you write that and that is a movie, people say, "Nah, that's unbelievable." How they get all them bricks inside and styrofoam, how they get in past and touch out all the marijuana.
It's rats.
People say, yeah, and like
rats in the police station still.
I find the part where they put the bricks and the styrofoam for the marijuana was unbelievable. That could never happen. Well, script writers, it just did.
Anyhow, keep moving, guys.
That's today's Express, people. Look at how bricks and styrofoam get popular. So the marijuana was so big that you could replace it with a brick. Because a brick is a pretty big thing.
Wendell, pause.
My only explanation is that to that, Wendell, is that they have to have some plastering or some little construction work going on in that police station. So the bricks are right there.
Look at the Newsday.
The company with a bag of bricks.
You make a request the other day that we do something to make people laugh everyone.
Yes. Yes, it is. But we have to move on to.
Oh God, no.
So Charles, when last you see styrofoam?
That's time I ordered something from Amazon.
You drink a juice or something. Anyway, and the newsday for today, the headlines. A judge urges legislative intervention for police detentions. A justice minister surprised by CJ Archie's retirement. Venezuela and 4 CARICOM countries among several on U.S. drug transit list. CJ Archie to retire after 17 years. Time to pass on sacred baton. And Criminal Bar Association head Israel Kansi, the council, had much to say. Tutor Tobago slams police in schools policy as plaster on sores, and UNC PRO sees no conflict. Mehu in company behind Maracas Eco Resort.
Okay.
For nationals to be honored in New York. All right, I was good. I was just seeing if there were any other trending stories. Over to you, Sir Charles and The Guardian.
All right. So in The Guardian, we have South lawyers call for smooth transition as Archie bows out. Miami-Dade Sheriff Office willing to train local cops. Cyclists killed in crash remembered for love of 2 wheels. Alexander promises report on HDC projects, and I suppose that's Philip. Maruga fishermen, low prices, high fuel costs, but no disruption at sea. And CJ Archie to step down, says it's time to pass the baton. All right, so some of these stories trending in The Guardian there.
Thank you, Sir Charles. So that's it for our headlines for today.
Let me just say good morning to Margaret Chow and wishing her son Francis Chow a happy birthday. So Francis Chow, happy birthday from your mom Margaret, and of course from us on the Breakfast Show, and also her best friend Mervyn Tanyuk, All right. So happy birthday to Francis, and a happy birthday also to our best friend Mervyn Tanya. All right.
Well, this is the point at which we open up the lines to our listeners before we head to the poll. The poll is in the group.
Yeah, so we're taking your calls in the meantime while I.
Yeah, while we 281-1315. Let me put up the number so you can call and talk to your heart's content.
Good morning to your caller.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Lincoln.
It's coming on cue, boy, Lincoln.
Yeah.
Well, you know, anytime I have anything involved in the TTPS, I
cue.
Now, the whole problem is that while it's already make light of the situation and all this good stuff, and we laugh and we think, this is a very, very, very serious situation, right? Because what is stealing drugs for?
You know what the other part of the story that I didn't read? Sorry, Lincoln. That those apparently it was drugs that they seized just on the weekend in Trinity.
Right. So if
whoever drugs they seize ain't making joke.
Right. So if they steal the drugs and they go in and sell it or redistribute it,
or give it back to whoever they seize it from.
Okay. So that means we have police officers who are now drug dealers.
Lincoln, what are you saying?
Okay, then.
Alleged.
And we just laugh and we just look at the surface value and find it funny. I thing. It's all.
I don't know. Maybe somebody broke in and maybe that had nothing to do with something.
Basic level of what we're dealing with. In a real country, the commissioner would be forced to answer or resign, or somebody in that station would lose the work. I remember twice in this country, guns were found in ceilings of fire stations. Illegal weapons were found in the ceilings of police stations. Sorry, not fire stations. Both St. Joseph and St. James. Nobody ever lost the work. I think people may have gotten transferred. It died the severity of action, illegal action of the CCPS. That's a lucrative job to be in. Right? You have a serious rogue element in the police service that needs to be taken. I know they're trying and they're dealing with what I would call the glaring ones that you can't help but thing that gone to the PCA and it's out there already. But they have a network that is underneath that is dangerous to be in the police service. And as you all say every day, until they deal with that, we have no faith and confidence in the TTPS. Have a good day, gentlemen.
None. If they can't fix what's inside there, they can't fix outside. Sorry. sorry. That's my honest belief. Because
I wonder how this story got out to the media, though. Because that would be kind of an incident that they may want to keep under wraps. If you understand what I'm saying.
No, you can't keep them thing under wraps.
Yes,
they actually have good. Richard, it actually have good police officers sitting down inside of there. It actually have good police officers sitting inside the station.
No, but Wendell, was it an official Trinidad and Tobago Police Service media release?
Well, I don't know how Wayne him does get them stories, but he get all.
Yeah, is that what I'm saying? That how did it get out? Because that might be something they may want to keep under wraps.
Hold 1 minute there, guys. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Rich, Sir Charles, and Wendell were ill speaking first thing this morning. I'm exercising.
Oh my God, but thank you, Mrs. R.
And I had to make sure I'm getting to let you know they both about talking. And there's a bold Mr. Sir Charles have the audacity to say, I am going to go back and tell you. I just want you to know that.
Yeah.
So,
Mrs. R for clearing that up with me.
Oh Lord, Miss Ariarello, hello.
Good morning, my love, and good morning, Christina. Good morning, Rena. Good morning, CJ. Good morning, Cara, Burgos, and of course, all the other callers. Good morning, and have a great day. I gotta go now because I'm tired and I'm exercising. I'm trying to time you when you could take calls. I'm not listening properly on the air.
Okay.
On the bus to here. So, hugs and kisses. Love you guys. Bye. Rich, what's your enemies,
Yes. Thank you, Mrs. R, for apprising me of that situation.
Dean Allen, you are absolutely correct. The police, army, coast guard, well, I don't know about immigration. Customs, all of them, damn corrupt. Have real corrupted people in it. Well, corrupted people in it. I mean, they're so real corrupted. But the worrying part about the TTPS in particular is that the thousands of good officers are so afraid sometimes of exposing the bad ones. That's the real problem and in the TTPS, you know. I don't know how Commissioner Guevara fixing that. He could change on DCPs how much he want. He could send this one and leave how much he want. I wish him luck. He has one of the hardest jobs in Trinidad. Trust me. In that TTPS, my God.
Kola, good morning.
Morning, gentlemen. That story is so shocking and disturbing to me, right? Having previously served and things. But so, Charles, I could assure you, right? Batara is a relatively new station, and all the relatively new stations have a dedicated secure property room, heavy steel door, and some large keys like we have to open prison cells. The thing is, whether those drugs were stored there, and if they were not stored there, that is the issue. And for me, that is a very simple inquiry to solve. And once it is solved, it shouldn't be no suspension. Under the Police Service Act, I was passed in 2007, giving the Commissioner sweeping powers. He could dismiss people in the public interest. You don't want to go through no tribunal and that kind of thing. He has that power. And that would be a very simple inquiry, because the fact that a quantity of the narcotics was replaced with styrofoam and bricks is to show that there is a clear intent to do something with that. Whether it's redistributed or some kind of thing, there is a clear criminal intent. And with that kind of clear criminal behavior, your interest is not to serve the public with pride. That is to continue a criminal enterprise. So for me, that's a simple inquiry to sign, but I have to conduct. But I agree with you, gentlemen, is very distressing. It's distressing. That's what I'm saying, especially as you pointed out, in a time of a state of emergency. Come on. But for me, that's a simple inquiry to solve. Very simple. Because somebody who would have either handed over the stuff or had custody tied, that chain of custody is very easy to track and deal with. Very simple.
And Kola, you know what you're saying, it sounds simple and easy to deal with this, but guess what? It won't, you know. Because you would think that whoever responsible for the property room and handing over the drugs and whatnot, it would be so easy to find out who was on duty that day. But it won't be easy, you know, because people will be afraid to talk.
Right. And I'll just put it like this, Mr. Stephens. Now, every property room in the station is the responsibility of the senior SDO on shift. So the property room will have other things. But there is also in each division a dedicated narcotics property keeper. But in initial stages like these items are handed over to the reception area charge room SDO to secure for the time being until it goes to court. After it goes to court with the first initial hearing, then it is transferred to the divisional property keeper, which is an even more secure facility, and everybody can't go down inside there. You have checks and balances, you know what I mean? So I'm saying this is the reason why that criminal behavior took place, because this is at the station and it is a little more lax. And I'm saying because of the quantity and how property rooms are configured, they might have placed it somewhere else more easily accessible. But being as it means that the shift commander would have been there. That person would have had the responsibility to secure that. You understand what I'm saying? And that is why I say it is easy to solve. The problem of the criminality is not easy. I agree with you. But something had to be done, man, drastically.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, thanks very much, Kola.
And I'm happy that he called in because, I mean, he has identified, I mean, he's clearly a former officer, you know what I mean? And he's always very articulate with his views on several issues, you know what I mean? And it must be frustrating sometimes for officers. I mean, I have a partner who's called me now and then. He retired as a senior officer too. And it's frustrating for them when they hear these stories to know that they served with pride and distinction, and a bunch of other people just making a mess of the TTPS. A mess.
Sad.
Goodness
Caller,
me.
good morning.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Norfolk, Virginia, front and center. Hey, it's really had me thinking here, and sad with the police officer who is now facing manslaughter charges. And, you know, out in here in most states of the US, you know, with the gun culture that exists out here, you know, you always, one thing I've learned from, you know, other half growing up, you know, with guns and stuff, back when everyone was sane, you always treat a gun like a loaded weapon. Always treat it like that. And that just stood out to me right away, especially if these are, well, they are trained. I mean, they're police officers, so they had some sort of training. So, and it's really sad as far as that is concerned. So I know the reason why I bring it up is because now under, you know, the current administration, I'm concerned that they will be sharing out gun like you're sharing out food hampers, because, you know, I hope there's a proper vetting service procedure in doing this. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you, Ron. Of course, our poll is up, people. Our guest in the next hour will be Mariano Brown, who we will speak with about Forex and all manner of things in the economy. So our poll is, do you agree with legislation to reveal all the Forex users? That's what the government apparently is proposing, to bring legislation so that all the users of Forex will be revealed. Do you agree with it? Of course, the central bank governor has already said that currently you cannot do that, right? The former one did it, the current one did it. So do you agree that all
Ewart
should be
Williams
revealed?
didn't do it?
Huh?
Ewart Williams didn't do it?
No central bank governor prior did it.
You just said the former one did it.
No, I said the former one didn't do it.
Oh, it's all like did.
Yeah, it sounded like did, eh? That didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms
Caller,
of
good
the
morning.
comment
Yeah. Good morning, Dabadi. Go ahead.
Hi, Sir Charles. Good morning. Good morning to Wendell. Good morning to Richard.
Good morning.
So, let me make a comment quicker because it's 7 o'clock. So the chief bugged them up. He catch all his main critics with their pants down. So, you know something, I'm happy that he left, because every day, every year, not every day, but every so often, ever so often, there's so much criticism about the Chief Justice. And for me, my criticism is the judiciary is not going anywhere. And if he intends to retire, I am happy for him. And if somebody else comes there, please put things in place, because there are too many cases outstanding for how many years. So if somebody else comes there, I hope they do a better job than what the last one did. I'm not criticizing him. He knows when he could leave, and if he says he go in. But Mr. Israel Khan, he don't care please nobody. He had too much to say about this man. And now we go in like you want him to stay. So you all have a wonderful day. Bye.
Well, I have a horse. I back in a horse in our CJ race. Once it narrowed down to her, Gillian Lucky. Once she in that race, that's who I'm supporting. I'm telling only that from now. Good.
I've heard from about Gillian Lucky for a little while. She's been very silent.
I'm telling only from now. Once she in the reckoning, that's who I'm supporting. I hope President Kangaloo hears me.
You have a vote or something?
No, I don't. But
Okay.
I might be able to. That's what I said in the message.
A public vote.
I don't understand yet.
You have a public vote, Wendell.
Exactly. Well, I don't know what to eat.
What are you fighting, you know?
and we will poll it when the time is right.
Okay.
Who you want
But
to
this
see
poll
on
right
the-
now. So tell them the poll again, please, and people yes or no first. Eh?
Yes. Do you agree with legislation to reveal all the Forex users? That's our poll this morning. All right. When we come back from 7 o'clock, we'll read out the poll results, and of course we'll get into our guest. All right.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio and Guile Caribbean. I'm Derek. Chief Justice Ivor Archie has announced he will retire during this law term, ending a 16-year tenure that began in 2008. Speaking at the opening of the new term, Archie, who turned 65 last month, said he always prepared to step down at that age, even though the retirement age for judges was raised to 70 in 2020. He said holding high office comes with personal sacrifice and stressed the need for fresh leadership from time to time. Calling the role a sacred baton held in trust, Archie said he wants to pass it in the zone rather than cling to it. The Chief Justice emphasized that his decision is about retiring, not resigning, and promised to give more details on the exact date soon. The ongoing foreign exchange crunch in Trinidad and Tobago is sparking sharp debate. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar says government plans to introduce legislation to make central bank allocations public, accusing banks of operating as Forex cartels that strangle small businesses. She also slammed the Exim Bank, claiming it has failed to function fairly. Former Finance Minister Colm Imbert strongly objected, warning that removing banking confidentiality would endanger client privacy and security. Economist Dr. Mariano Brown described the Forex shortage as a painful reality for all stakeholders, noting that government itself is the biggest consumer, importing pharmaceuticals and fuel, which drive the country's demand. He stressed that the solution lies in earning more foreign exchange, not in blame. Economist Dr. Ronald Ramkissoon, meanwhile, said food and pharmaceutical imports are no surprise, and argued that fixing the overvalued exchange rate is key to boosting local food production. Tobago's birth rate has seen a drastic decline in recent years. That's the word from Tobago House of Assembly Health Secretary Dr. Faith Brednor, speaking at Friday's launch of the new Health Hygiene Lounge at the Division of Health. Dr. Brebnor said the island has recorded a steady drop in births over the last 5 to 10 years and described the situation as urgent. She noted that social issues may be driving the decline and stressed the need to reverse the trend. The Health Hygiene Lounge, meanwhile, is a new family-friendly space featuring a menstrual health room and a breastfeeding room. Menstrual products will be provided on an emergency or needs basis, while breastfeeding facilities are open to all pregnant and nursing mothers visiting the division. 3 men have been arrested in connection with 2 separate cases of larceny and larceny by trick. Police say in the first case, a businesswoman reported that a man placed a $34,000 order for processed chicken earlier this month. She handed over more than $21,000 worth of goods, but the man never returned to pay or collect the balance. 2 suspects, ages 48 and 27 from Chaguanas, were later arrested. In the second case, a 43-year-old man was arrested in Sangre Grande after allegedly collecting $50,000 from a woman, promising to secure her an HDC house. The joint operation was coordinated by senior officers of the Fraud Squad, White Collar Crimes Unit, and the Eastern Division Task Force. Charges of larceny by trick have since been laid. In regional news, 4 Caribbean community countries have been named on a new U.S. drug watch list. U.S. President Donald Trump, in his annual report to Congress, identified the Bahamas, Belize, Haiti, and Jamaica as major drug transit or illicit drug-producing countries for fiscal year 2026. They join more than a dozen other nations worldwide, including Venezuela, Colombia, and Mexico. Trump stressed that being listed is not necessarily a reflection of cooperation with U.S. authorities, but rather a result of geographic and economic factors that make drug trafficking possible. He said Afghanistan, Bolivia, Burma, Colombia, and Venezuela had failed demonstrably to meet international anti-narcotics obligations. The U.S. president also highlighted the ongoing fentanyl crisis, noting over 200 overdose deaths daily in 2024, and vowed to use the country's law enforcement, military, and economic power to combat drug trafficking. No specific reason was given for placing the CARICOM states on the list. In international news, prosecutors in Utah say the man accused of killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk confessed in a note and text messages to his roommate. 22-year-old Tyler Robinson is facing 7 charges, including aggravated murder, obstruction of justice, and witness tampering. Prosecutors say they will seek the death penalty. According to investigators, Robinson left a note under his roommate's keyboard saying he planned to take out Kirk. He later sent texts admitting to the shooting, saying he had enough of his hatred. Kirk, a close ally of former U.S. President Donald Trump, was killed by a single shot fired from a rooftop while speaking at Utah Valley University last Wednesday. Robinson was arrested after a 33-hour manhunt, eventually surrendering at his parents' home when confronted by his father. Authorities stress Robinson has not confessed to police and remains innocent until proven guilty. And that's news at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with new Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Mornings just got better. You're locked into Net Radio Breakfast Show, fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 Ooh. Man, your belly. If you cut me, you go see blood. And if you squeeze me, you go feel the love. We are one people under the sun, one nation under the law. So who feel the black? Who feel the black? Who feel the white? Who feel the white? I don't know. But it's set till tomorrow night. Who feel the wrong? Who feel the wrong? Who feel the right? Who feel the right? Come and go. And all who feel the too bright. Let me jump up, same way. Let me wind up, same way. Party not stop. La magie we come to play mass. Every creed and class. Don't let nothing pass. Like a ready TV, all the love inside the way. You got an accent, but we not really different. 99, 1% love to wine, represent. All that we want to see, happiness, prosperity. I for you and you for me. Cause if you cut me, you go see blood. And if you squeeze me, you go feel the love. We are one people under the sun, one nation under the law. So who feel the black? Who feel the black? Who feel the white? Who feel the white? I don't know. But it's set till tomorrow night. Who feel the wrong? Who feel the wrong? Who feel the right? Who feel the right? Come and go. And all who feel the too bright. Let me jump up, same way. Let me wind up. Party not stop. Ramage we come to play mass. Every creed and class. Don't let nothing pass. Like a ready TV, all the love inside the way. Uptown and ghetto, feeling the tempo. Soca and Kaiso, it's party day like so. Soon as we land, fun is the plan. We like the jam, like me man bam. Waving we hand inside the band, we inside the band. And if you cut me, you go see blood. And if you squeeze me, you go feel the love. We are one people under the sun, But it's set till tomorrow night. Who feel the right?
Who feel the wrong? Who feel the right? Who feel the black? Who feel the white? We fetting, we jumping up, we ramaging, we kill kittain, same way.
I don't know.
Everybody, good morning to you once again. If you're just joining us, thank you so much for being here on the NETT Radio, New Era TT Radio. And remember, we stream all day, every day at newerattradio.com. New Era TT Radio for those of you on the social media platforms. And you can get us on TuneIn, so you can get us on your Alexa and Google devices. Yes? So continue to vote on the poll, people. Remember, yes or no first, and then you put your comments, right? And we will be back on the other side. We have a guest coming in between there, which will be Mr. Mariano Brown. So we're talking Forex and all different kinds of stuff, right? So stay with us, and we will be back shortly. Let's finish pay those bills.
Don't miss Furniture Plus Inventory Blowout Sale. Get up to 65% off in-store and online. Enjoy massive savings on furniture, appliances, and more. Hurry, this deal won't last. Shop now and save big at Furniture Plus.
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop. Located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davantry tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
That's a really infectious tune, eh?
It's such a wonderful song. Saved It by Blacks. Such a good choice. But it's always a good choice anytime it's played, you know.
Yeah.
Who feel the black? Who feel the white? I don't know. But we fatten till tomorrow night. Anyway.
And we are, yeah? We fed regardless.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, that really is an amazing place, you know, with some amazing people, you know. But of course, you know, some people just bent on spoiling it, including a particular person who say what? India will nuke Venezuela. Why people like that in government? Why people like that hold a position of authority in this country? I don't even know, you know.
I don't know why you would even go there.
I went there already for the morning.
As Gary Griffith said, if they were to do Venezuela, we would get the fallout. We're killing Trinidad too, because we're so close.
Yeah, naturally.
So it doesn't make any sense. And why would you even talk like that? I mean, come on. You know, and let me tell you something. It's always about what countries' interests are. People don't operate on any loyalty in terms of countries. I learned that lesson, as I always say from Dr. Job. He always tell me, Richard, countries operate on interest. Is it in my interest to be involved, or is it not in my interest?
Now that person can talk like that, you know, Richard. Me have a problem, you know. Of course, I wouldn't repeat it.
People can say no, but people can say what they want, but we, as the Forte State, are entitled to comment and say, "Hey, pull back."
Yeah, no, but how people like that get to the positions they in, I don't know. But anything goes.
And people people may be qualified for a position, but they may say an out of sort statement that can happen. It may not be necessarily reflective of who they are, but you say a statement that we're going to hold you to account.
Not in this case, eh? This is very reflective of who the person is. As always been.
Who said it, by the way?
PEA.
No, did he say the original statement? I think he said the original.
Yeah, you don't get that video? I fed up get it. If I wasn't getting it from actual people who I care about, I would block them. I've always told people don't send me anything with that gentleman.
So who are the people you care about that you didn't block? That's my takeaway.
Gary.
That's my takeaway from the entire situation.
Gary. I care about Gary. I've had to block him in the past, but I won't block him because of this one. Anyway, our poll, of course, is: do you agree with legislation to reveal all the Forex users? You ready to write, sir?
Oh, sorry, yes.
Andrea, no. Finbar Collins, no. What's the big deal in knowing? We just like commerce. We love commerce, Finbar. We don't like it. We love it. Kazim Mohammed, no. Ava Smith, no. Ila Rizan, no. Diane Payne, no. Rena Bunu Jennings, not at all. Crystal Stevenson, no. Yes. Michael Oliver, yes. Margaret Thomas, no. Jason Samuel, yes. Jason Samuel, this was actually your poll, eh? We took your suggestion. Howard Hernandez, no. Derek Billuin, no. Client privacy in banking should remain private. Slick Money Grip, no. Marlon Motley, no. Mrs. R, no. Lester Cragwell, no. That's not good business policy. Colted Finch, no. Eunice Dublin, no. Suzanne Jessup says yes. Rena Jennings says, I'm backing your horse in the race too. And all right, great. We'll get to that one day. Kenny in Harlem, no. Beauty Culture, no. Bernadette Yates, no. Claire Lendor Rollins, no. Alistair Hart, no. Michael Cadet, no. CJ, no. Joyce Phillip, no. Ingrid from Tucson, no. Diane Payne. Apollonius, no. Beauty Culture, no. That will put a lot of businesses at risk. Valerie saying I will not get my wish. We'll wait and see. Valerie Mendoza said no to the poll. Marlene Saunders Sobers, no. Avian Ferguson says no. Sankofa says no. Anne Noel, no. Ambrose Blah, yes, I agree with you. No. Carol Guevara, no. Wayne Ramsey, no. Stella Services, no. Felix Cazo, no. Far Rockaway, yes. Andre, yes. All right, so those are our votes.
All right, so on the WhatsApp, we have Pauline off very early saying no. Brenda in Pinal saying no. Judith in Tobago, no. Afria says yes. Joseph Clement says no. Miss Sampson didn't vote.
Yes, he voted just now on online.
Oh,
he says
well,
no.
yeah. Okay. Drain Rio Claro says yes. Long Islander says no. Terry Ann Peters, I don't know if you got it. I didn't get you as yet. Ron DeSantis here saying no. Zena, hell no. Joyce, let me see if Joyce Phillips say anything. All right, she didn't vote. And yeah, that's what I have so far, guys.
Well, CJ, we got your vote earlier on. No, CJ say no, right? I think we got it earlier.
Morning, CJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Good morning, CJ. Mwah.
Richard, I was saying on radio Monday, I don't know what CJ doing, but she looking younger.
Yeah.
Huh?
People tell me that too.
maybe you and CJ doing it together then.
Well, like Richard and
Well, we are twins, you know. They were twins.
Okay. No, but she looked really nice on Sunday.
He twinned.
Yeah, they all look nice. I mean, Dina, Miss Mendoza.
I want to. You better cover your track. you catch that quick.
Very, very quick, Wendell. I mean, really.
I learned from you, you know.
You slip on your pull back there very quickly.
Yeah. So let's count the votes and crumple. And
all right. So we have So our poll this morning is: do you agree with legislation to reveal all the Forex users? We had 51 people voting on the poll this morning, and of the 51 people voting, 43 of you said no, you do not agree with legislation to reveal all Forex users. 43 of you said no, 8 of you said yes. So the yeses were in the minority, in the small minority in comparison to the no's. So 8 of you said yes, 43 of you said no, for a total of 51. So that's it for our poll this morning. The poll is now at an end. You can't vote no more.
You know, I if I had to vote, I really wouldn't. I would abstain from voting because I really don't care whether they name it or they don't name it. It doesn't matter to me at the end of the day.
I mean, I would vote no because what is your intent in knowing that? What are you trying to prove? What is your intent? There has to be an intent. There is an intention for wanting to know. You don't just get up on there and say, I just feel to know who get in Forex. No, you want to know. And if you want to know, you have an intent in wanting to know. That's my concern. What's your intent? Because we know who the main players are anyway.
Yeah.
We know it's the car companies, whether it be the foreign used or the new car companies. Those are the ones that use a lot of foreign exchange. We know it's the food sector, the supermarkets or food distributors. We know it's places like Price Mart and stuff like that. We know they utilize a lot of foreign exchange. So we know some of the major big players in foreign exchange allocation. And of course, you have manufacturers who utilize foreign exchange via Exim Bank because they have imported sources for their production capacity. And then they export. So these are the main players. So kind of generic way, you know. So wanting to know specifically is for what intent?
Yeah.
What intent as a government could you possibly have in want to know specifically?
Because they are alleging there's a cartel, Richard. That's what the government is alleging, that there's a cartel. I don't know, connected to whom, I don't know, but that's what they're alleging. You know, so that at the end of the day, it don't really matter to me. But if the law is that people banking information should remain private.
Yeah. But that's the ultimate. And I just think, what does it say for business confidence and business, the mood of businesses in the country?
Yeah.
And as I said before, and I'll say again, the business community is eerily quiet about even this issue. So it's almost like they're afraid they'll get attacked or something like that. I don't know if that's what the sentiment is. But you have to stand up. You are citizens because businesses created and think here have a legally alive, so to speak. They have a legal space. So you have a right to echo whatever your opinion is on issues. And anytime people cower in fear because of fear of victimization, if that's your concern, then what's happening to your democracy? You have to be we see the problem in the United States already.
Yeah.
Where whoever thought the United States would be a place where you would be afraid to speak? Because your Second Amendment has been so crucial to Americans and your ability to say what you want. And I believe totally in your And I'm a free speech speaker. Say what you want. I want to know what you're thinking. So I believe in that Second Amendment, that freedom of speech requirement, which we also have here. We have it enshrined in our Constitution, the freedom of speech. But it just seems that a lot of people are, tiptoeing around the tulips. And anytime people are tiptoeing around the tulips, or you're afraid to speak, that is concerning.
Yes.
I don't know if that is the case. Let me qualify by saying I don't know if that's the case, but if it is, that's concerning.
This government has alienated so many people in such a short space of time. I don't think any government in history has had that kind of, how I should put it, job losses in such a short space of time into coming into office. I don't know that any other government has had that. They may have had it over their period of years, but certainly not within 3-4 months. So they have alienated so many people, and of course, the comments coming from some of the people in government have been so despicable. And on the other hand, there are some of them who are, I admit, very quiet and just going about doing their work. You know what I mean? I mean, we would have heard from about one on Monday. I don't remember the man's name. It's Professor Prakash Prasad, Minister of Tertiary Education. How great a job he's doing. And he's under the radar. Nobody saying anything about him. I asked Edie Stewart, maybe we should try to interview him, because these are the people we want to talk to, people who are making efforts quietly. Not those others who come in.
Anyway, I see Mariano Brown has joined us, so we can get straight into our interview, because he's a busy man. He's always busy. He's very busy. Ooh. So you can't just, once you got a chance to speak to him, you have to grab at it. So let me just bring Mariano Brown.
Well, that's another player right there.
Mariano, he gets so much material from us, you wouldn't believe it.
I believe it. I see it too.
Morning, Mr. Brown.
Good morning. How are you?
Thanks. We see you are in transit to somewhere. So.
No, I park up. Today morning I was dropping my grandson to school.
Oh, okay. All right. Beautiful. All right.
Nice.
By the way,
we can start off with our morning poll this morning. Our poll this morning was, what was it, Wendell?
Do you agree with legislation to reveal by the government to reveal all the users of Forex?
Oh God.
Mariano, you might be exposed there too,
It's like it's a useless use of time. To go and adjust legislation, go and put all it, and after you do that, what would you have achieved? What's the point of it?
But that's what
what's the point?
That's what I want to know. What's the point? What is your intent? You find out, okay, it's these 50 companies. What is your intent?
Look, the governments are elected to do things to ameliorate a situation, to fix a situation. The point is this, it's a simple point, right? And the governor, who is a former minister of finance, a banker in his own right, he spent several years in banking, he's an accountant, he understands these things. He comes out and he says, well, hang on a second, there's a marked imbalance in foreign exchange. We're not earning like we used to, but we're spending the same way. By the way, the demand for foreign exchange, or the use of the level of imports has declined. Well, before there was the average level is about 15 or 20% decline. But the point is the decline is not sufficient. It's still outweighing the amount that we earn.
Right.
That's a reality, right? So if you go and put this one name, well, what is it going to do? But the whole idea is to shame them. People are in business. I mean, this nonsense about and this company is a cartel. If I'm a big operation, I mean, for example, who buys pharmaceuticals? The government is the largest purchaser of pharmaceuticals for its hospital and medical services. If they wanted to adjust things in terms, they could do it in terms of their procurement routines. They don't go through this whole process about declaring and finding out who made X, Y, and Z, and then they turn around. Boy, I need drugs from you. I need to get it as soon as I can. If the problem is about price or whatever else it is, you look for alternative suppliers. I mean, and that's how I understand it. The biggest use of foreign exchange in this country is fuel. But that never comes out. Who is the biggest user for you? Who basically buys and sells fuel? The main distributor is Paria. It buys fuel. Everybody who's selling fuel, every gas station selling buy from one person, Paria. That's the reality, right? The next biggest user for after that, you have the next biggest use of foreign exchange to pay foreign debt. After that is what no importer is going to argue or go for foreign exchange just like that. They're going to foreign exchange to buy stuff to sell. That is the reality, right? So the issue is on the demand side. So the only real possibility is to use a mechanism which addresses demand. And the one mechanism that nobody wants to accept, or everybody's afraid of, is the price of foreign exchange.
The devaluation of it.
Well, devaluation, depreciation, the Trinidad and Tobago dollar is depreciated by 10% for the year already, you know. We didn't do a thing, right? Because we pegged to another currency which has been depreciating. It depreciates quietly and imperceptibly. So if you, for example, you were sending your child to England to study, or you have a child in Europe, I'm just using that as an example, right? Because we buy other things from Europe and England, right? The cost of your services would have gone up by 10%, at least 10 or 12% already, because the US dollar has been depreciating against those currencies. That is normal, that is natural, that will happen, right? So the point is, when you don't allow the normal forces to work, you get a build-up. There was a time that the US used to sell for $7.25. Then it went to $7.50. Then it kind of approximating $8. Now, because of all the conversation and stuff, it's going to $8.50. Once there's a divergence between the price in what you would call in the market, the gray market, and the bank, where am I going to sell my money? I can make $2 if I got US dollars. I can make $2 if I sell it, but I'm not going to give it to the bank.
So do you think that they should just free float it? Is that what you're saying?
No, we had a managed float. Trinidad and Tobago's, the position with the foreign countries, is a reflection of what has been taking place since 2014. The prices of oil and gas fell. The amount that we produced, natural gas we produced, fell. Right? As a result, we earn less. Foreign currency prices, foreign exchange prices, is related to demand and supply. Right? So if your trade is declining, your exchange rate is going to decline too. That's what's going to happen. Right? That's normal and natural. So the real task is on the other side of the fence. How do you rebuild the pie? How do you increase the amount of revenue that we earn? Right? So when I hear all this talk about how many people and this cartel and this and so on and so on and so forth, right? Well, we aren't working on the right side. There are things that we have to do. But that's not the conversation. The conversation is not about what we have to do. So it doesn't carry. The point I'm making about it detracts. The same way that we want to beat up Imbert and say Imbert didn't do X and Imbert didn't do Y for 10 years. Well, we come in and we do the same thing like Imbert. Imbert number 2. I'll change Tanku name to Imbert number 2.
2.0. But recently there was an article, Mr. Brown, that exposed some users, I think from Exim Bank. I don't know how that came out, but there were a list of Forex users.
Exim is a government bank. When the manager, when what you call the Minister of Finance call Exim Bank and tell him, give me the information. Are you not going to tell them no? Otherwise you will get fired.
But my understanding, based on a story written by Vyash Nanlal, who we all know, was that represented just 6% of the people who use foreign exchange.
Well, I don't know what the percentage is. I mean, to me, if you have that information, what are you going to do next? That's my question. Right? You have the Fair Trading Commission. If you want to talk about a cartel and they have all these people are blocking the market and so on, then there is legislation that you could use to basically address it. But I mean, normal thing. I mean, they have a lawyer on this conversation. Normally, what you do before you what you call it, you ask before you judge people and pronounce them guilty. You normally get evidence.
Mm-hmm.
They have no evidence in position here. There's no evidence. And the governor comes up and says, well, and you appoint the governor. The governor was a member of your cabinet. So he went there to lie. The answer is that so there must be some, and then what we get a ridiculous statement. Well, you haven't found any evidence that there's one, but it doesn't say that there's any evidence. It said that it's not. Right? I mean, it's silliness. I mean, the point is we have to get on with business. We have what it is we are going to do, and the country has to be told some facts. Right now, Imbo is no friend of mine, and I wasn't happy with the way he ran things. But at the same token, he was dealt a difficult plate. The reality is our earnings fell, and we are repeating what happened between 1983 and 1986. You know, we're trying to go for a soft landing, and then we'll find ourselves in a whole big bag of trouble, and then we have to take draconian steps. And then everybody's going to be in difficulty. Worse again.
Well, that begs the question, because I would have been having this kind of discussion with somebody lately. Do you think that we are eventually going to end up at the IMF doors?
Well, the governor said it. He said if we continue at this rate, life will get very difficult and we'll run out of foreign exchange quickly. The measures he came up with are what you would call delay measures. They don't change the situation. If you read, for example, let's go straight arithmetic. The difference between the bank selling rate is $6.50 and the selling rate you can get outside $8.50. That's $2. Right? If you express that as a rate of interest, how much does it come to? 20-something percent, 30-something percent? If you raise the rate of interest to 30%, what is going to be the position? Right? You're already talking about a Jamaican situation. That's what happened in Jamaica. How long did Jamaica take before we start talking about turnaround? We're talking about between 1974 to now, you know.
Yes.
Right? And there's a situation, my experience. I'll give you a little story. We went to Jamaica, Carib Cement, now Trinidad Cement in Jamaica. The chairman of the company was also the managing director of a bank. So they got the best rate. Their base rate was 25%. This is 1990. This is November 1990. And we were going to lend them 10 million US. Once we got the central bank permission to lend them 10 million US, we lend them 10 million US. We could raise 10 million US. We lend them at 8% for a year, but we want all the banks to confirm that they will give us back $10 million in November 1991. No bank was prepared to give us a forward exchange deal or a forward exchange price. None. They said that the demand overhang was too high in the marketplace. The rate at the time was 8-1. 8-1. That's November. Right? What was the rate? Give me a guess as what the rate was in June 1991.
About 30?
20-1.
20.
20-1. That's what happened because everybody knew what was taking place. They didn't have the supply, and eventually they reached a position they couldn't do anything else. And that's the difficulty. When you wait, you end up with having to take a big bite. It's hard. That's one of the reasons why we pay off loans. Everybody borrows money to buy a car. You pay it off in little bits. Right? That's the same issue when you handle an exchange rate. You don't want to make a deep dive, because when you make a deep dive, you affect the prices of everything dramatically overnight. And that becomes destabilizing from a political position or from a social position. So it's better to do it in small pieces. That's why we talk about a managed float. A managed float gives you time, gives you opportunity, gives people the opportunity to adjust the expenditure profile, to make choices. When you drop it on them one day, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
So it's not some esoteric theory that we're talking about. This is about practical, real life situation.
What
Right,
about
so
what about the comment from Emily Elias that it should go to 9.1? I think almost immediately. Because
Emil Elias stepped out of his crease sofa and everybody tiptoeing around it. He put it on the table, right? And what he is saying in effect is that they have a market rate. Look, let me wipe that out at the beginning. But as a one step, you do it once. What you're going to do afterwards, you still have other things. But yeah, you're going to be on a fixed float. It's going to be floating, right? Are you going to, is it going to be a fixed rate? Are you going to be a floating rate? Is it going to be a managed float? Those are the choices and those are the decisions that you have to make. But you have to start doing it from now.
So is it that you're saying that we should come off the managed float system?
Well, not a managed. I don't know what it is. It's a fixed rate system that we operate in. And the fixed rate situation clearly demonstrates that there's an imbalance in the marketplace. In life,
So are you saying that we should go to a managed float then, or are you saying we should just float it?
we have to go to a managed float. Nobody is suggesting if you go to a float and you just drop it. I mean, we could adjust it tonight, All the central bank has to do say tomorrow morning to the banking community, I have $100 million I put in the system. They could do it now, right? I'm going to put $100 million in the system, but I'm only going to give the person who pays me the most for it. I bet the price will change immediately. Immediately. And the other thing about it, this thing about that we're going to run into inflation and all this is going to happen and so on. Every businessman today, if they can't get the money from the set, that's one of the reasons why the credit card uses have gone up. People buying off people's unused credit card allowances off of them, Pay this bill for me now. I'll pay you back at the higher rate. Pay this bill for me. That's the reason why they've been cutting off this, because people have flooded the country with things from Amazon. That was a fiction that Mr. Imbert used because he didn't want to. The same issue that this government is facing, right? The demand for foreign exchange is greater than the supply. So you have to find somebody to blame it on. All those fellas who importing champagne, and how much champagne you drink? How much lobster you gonna eat? That's what the foreign exchange is going. I mean, really. It was, and people fell for that stupidness because they want to blame somebody. It's a difficult economic situation that we are in, and we might as well get everybody's minds focused on how we're going to fix the problem, rather than try to blame some invisible thief, which is really what we're trying to do.
Yeah. But how do we fix the problem? Let's be blunt, Mariano Brown, this morning. You are the Minister of Finance. You are Imbert 3.0. Well, let me not do that. You are Mariano Brown 1.0.
The reason why Imbert knows exactly what the problem is, and Imbert knows what they have to do to correct it. And correcting it has a political cost. It has a political cost. Trinidad devalued. The other thing about Trinidad devalued and unified the rate and went to a floating rate system over an Easter weekend in 1993. They didn't do it because they had foreign exchange, They did it because we had no foreign exchange. So it didn't make a difference. We're going to be in trouble anyhow. Right? And that was a political decision that had been made by the PNM in 1991, before they got into office. Right? They were just waiting for the time when it was best suited for them to be able to make. And Trinidad never looked back. Right? The country stabilized. Right? We live with it. The inflation didn't go out of kilter. It was handled in normal time. And why? Because people were pricing the goods at the black market rate. Anybody who is basically has a buy foreign exchange to run their business, you can price it at $6.50. It costs you $7. You can cost your goods at $6.50%. No, it won't do it. You're going to price at the higher rate. And even if you aren't getting all of your currency at the higher rate, you're going to have to price at the higher rate, just in case something happens in the market, because otherwise you'll be selling for undervalue and you'll find yourself in a cash flow problem. So you're going to have to do it. So businesses are already doing that. So to suggest that all of a sudden tomorrow morning they'll cost their goods at the higher rate is rubbish. They're doing it now. Any sensible businessman is doing that now. When you talk to them privately, they'll tell you yes, but they're not going to come out in the public and say so.
Yeah. What do you what are your predictions for the upcoming budget? Even though they haven't announced the date as yet, but the financial year.
Well, let me go back to Camna 1.0. Right? The PNM left office in 1990 with income of $42 billion. $42 billion. Okay, $42 billion. Right? We ran into difficulty with the recession, 2008. Right, the world recession, and then all of a sudden prices, oil and energy prices spiked. By 2011, right, prices started to go up, and the revenue of this country moved from 42 billion to 55, then to 56, then to 50, and to almost 60 billion. In other words, we were earning at the end at least $19 million a year more than they were earning when they came into office. What happened? Was there a surplus in any one of those years? Did the Heritage and Stabilization Fund go up? The answer is no. Expenditure went up. Subsidies and transfers moved from being $16 billion to $30 billion. It was spent on subsidies and transfers. Literally a direct one-to-one correlation between the amount of increase in the income that we earned and the amount of money we spent. Yeah. Subsidies and transfers. So we ended up, when Imbut comes into office now and revenue is 40 billion, and he inherits 60 billion in expenses, and he cut it to 50. Right? You're still running a deficit of 10. Yeah. Now here we are now. We have income of 53, and we have to pay all the back pay. By the way, when the people get back pay in hand, what are they going to do? They want to put it in the bank and save it, or they're going to spend it? If they're going to spend it, as more than likely is the case, what you do if you're front-ending demand, if you're front-end demand, you also increase the demand for foreign exchange. That's the reality. So the budget deficits are also expansionary and increase the demand for foreign exchange. So it come here, Camna 2.0. We have a bunch of what you call it, trade unionists in office, some of whom have made promises to their union members. What is the government going to do? They're going to tell them, no, we're not going to pay you, or they will make some attempt to pay them. Any attempt to pay them higher than the 4 and 5%. In person, they weren't stupid, you know. They were paying 4 and 5% because that's what they could have afforded to pay within the budget envelope that they were operating with. Mm-hmm. It's not because they were wicked or anything else, right? That's the reality. So here you come now and you spend more. Your budget deficit is going to increase. It's bound to. So it puts us in a real pickle. We're not earning any more, but your whole profile, your whole expenditure profile is set to increase. What's going to happen then?
So the 10% will probably not be a reality. The 10% for public servants will probably not be a reality.
Well, it might not be 10, it might be 8, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But the reality is there are back pay issues and so on which have to be adjusted within the context of the budget. Mm-hmm. So it's not going to be an easy exercise. So the Prime Minister has already indicated is going to be in deficit. The only question now is by how much?
How much? Mm-hmm. And once you start off there, there's very little recovery unless you really change the
profile. Yes, you can, unless you address expectations and you address productivity. All those are the kinds of issues that you're going to have to face, and they're difficult issues. You can't talk your way out of that, right? And addressing no cartel is going to help you with that, right? Those are basics, and you have to get back to those basic conditions. That's why, you would understand on Independence Day, you'd have a message from the president, you'd have a message from the prime minister. You expect to get a message from the finance minister talking about hard times. Right? So at that stage of the game is what he's very much aware of all the difficulties facing. Right? And what he's signaling is I have to make some hard decisions. The prime minister comes out and say, but it's going to be in deficit. Well, in the background, the choice is between cutting expenditure because nobody wants to increase revenue. Nobody wants to pay more for electricity. Nobody wants to pay more for water. Nobody wants to pay more for fuel. Well, all right. So what you expect?
Mm-hmm.
So how do they? What can they do? Because ultimately, you have to expand your economy. You have to expand your GDP. You have to facilitate investment, business confidence. All those sorts of things are the intangibles that you have to project.
Businesses understand difficult decisions. They have to make them, right? And that's where confidence is. You don't give people confidence by ducking your hard decision and saying, "But we ain't gonna make that decision." At the end of the day, everybody, it's like somebody who is sick. If you don't take the medicine today, and you don't take it tomorrow, and on day 3 and day 4, you have to take a higher dose or a different kind of medicine. In which case, right, it's always going to be harder on your body. We are in exactly the same position. That's why I'm saying the language that is used by government is unhelpful to the difficulties that they are facing. It's not preparing us for anything. It's not carrying us in a direction where we know that we're going to have to work to fix it. It's not geared towards fixing anything. It's just noise.
Is it that they are afraid to face the reality, Mariano?
Of course. What happened when NER faced the reality?
Mm-hmm.
All the decisions that were made by the NER. This is something that we always talk about, the NER. All the decisions made by the NER were PNM decisions, Mm-hmm. Decisions that the PNM fubbed, right? Mm-hmm. They didn't know how to make the decision. That's why they talk about soft landing. There was a whole number. There were about 6 or 7 what you call supplemental funds in between 1983 and 1986. But when the price dropped from $36 to $9 a barrel, right, and you spending money to subsidize it, you'll run out of it in a short period of time. And then the issue became, well, they were corrupt and they were thief and they do all of that and so on. Well, maybe some did. I'm sure that some did. But that doesn't mean to say that the whole government was run on that particular basis. But as we came away from the impression, along comes NER. They make a bunch of hard decisions. And what does the PNM say? They're too evil, mean, nasty, and wicked. They make all the right decisions. They made the decisions that the PNM could not make. But politics is about emotion. It's not about logic. It's about emotion. You get people riled up. You get people vexed, right? Look at what those people doing you. Look at how they've been treating you. And you vote for me, and I treat you the same way.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's what we're dealing with. So if we have to have an existential change, right? We have to have a change in the politics and a change in the conversation, and it requires you have to craft a message which tells the country this is a challenge and we have to go through it. Look at the situation. Look at the situation in England, right? They essentially blame Europe. England blamed Europe for everything that they had to face. It was immigration. It was the Europeans coming and taking our jobs, right? The Europeans telling us what to do. A loss of sovereignty, a loss of X, a lot of. We're coming out of Brexit. They come out of Brexit. The economy get any better or it get worse? It got worse.
So, Mr. Brown, what I want to find out, right, in layman's terms, I just want you to directly address again what are the things that the government needs to do right now, and if they should do it, when can we look forward to a change in this Forex situation? Would it be like 5 years or 3 years? What are your estimations, and what are some of those things directly?
We have to recognize Trinidad is a mature geological province. We earn a lot of money from oil and gas. That may continue, and we know that the oil and gas situation around the world is changing. We're talking about clean energy, we're talking about doing X, Y, and Z. So we know it's not going to earn us the type of money that we used to earn in the past. That means that we have to run our lives differently, we have to make different decisions, and we have to concentrate on exports. Now, it's up to businessmen to find out what they can do legitimately in terms of exports to improve the operations of the country. And we have to look at alternative revenue situations. You have to do it. And the longer you take and you run with the same business model, the worse it gets because you're postponing decisions. That's the one thing about economics. If you don't make a decision today, you're going to be forced to make it tomorrow. And if you make it tomorrow, you're going to be 2 years. You would have lost 2 years. It takes time to transition. And transition is not. And this is why the politicians have a difficulty. You can't tell them you're going to get. The question Sir Charles is asking is if it's going to get better in 3 years. It's not going to get better in 3 years. Right? It will take longer than 5. In other words, longer than the electoral cycle. And that's why the politicians always basically they fudge the issue and kick the can down the road. We'll wait, we'll see how it will work out. Input was always waiting for an energy price change. It came, but it came and it lasted 18 months. We're still exporting the same amount of ammonia. We earned $3.6 billion from ammonia in 2022. In 2023, we earned 1.8. At today's date, we're not earning 1.8 billion from ammonia exports. That's the reality.
Yeah.
And you have to adjust your expenditure to that. If the prices went up. What you going to do? The only thing you can do is adjust your consumption.
Do you think this government will have to go back to property tax?
They have to increase revenue. And to increase revenue means to increase taxation. And the first order of business is to move VAT from 12.5% to 15%. That's what I expect.
You expect VAT will go up. But what about property tax? Because they ran on cancel the tax or whatever it is that they said. But they have not yet repealed the property tax.
I pay my property tax, and I expect to pay it again.
I'm one of those who pay it also. I want my refund. I was told I getting a refund.
Nah, you ain't getting no refund. The woman tell you that I stand cool. I didn't say that you could get no refund.
But because they haven't repealed it as yet, and it was such a prominent thing, is it that they're considering going back to it, even if they adjust the rate to save fees?
They have to. They're going to have to. All the things that people don't want are things that you're going to have to do, right? The reality is if you can't pay for your natural gas that you're being supplied, TNTech owes NGC billions of dollars, right? So why do them? Because the tariff rate is not sufficient to generate the revenue to repay for the use of natural gas, and they're getting natural gas at a subsidized price. Let's just say I, as NGC, I could afford to sell you gas at a lower price, but every bit of gas I sell you at a lower price is also means a bit of foreign exchange I can't earn. There you go. All right. So there are no easy choices in this, right? We'll have to conserve energy. You can't leave the lights on all night. You can't leave the lights on all the playing fields lit, right? Regardless of whether anybody on them from 7 until 10 o'clock. Well, that will have to stop. It's either people are playing or they're not playing. If they're not playing, turn off the lights.
Right. But Mariano, we have had this conversation already years ago.
Well, the moral of the story is that you may have had the conversation, but you didn't make no decision. That's the point I'm making. You have to decide on an action and you have to follow it through. Talking about it is not good enough.
No, but wasn't the decision made in terms of the public sector government buildings that they take off those lights that they have on hold now?
All right. Well, all right, and government still ain't paying the electricity bill. How much money government owe TNTech? Right. You have to pay your bill. Right? The point is you have to make decisions and you have to follow through with them. You have to make decisions and you have to follow through them, not talk about them. Right? Politicians are accustomed to talking. Leaders take action. There's a difference between them.
So do you expect, last question, in Kamla 2.0 will be taking decisive action?
There's no evidence to suggest that.
Okay. All right.
What we getting is talk, right? So you talk as though you're bad with regard to Venezuela. You talk as though you're bad with regard, you kill them, do this, shoot them out. How that changing anything, right? In fact, those declarations are declarations of weaknesses. Strong people don't make those kind of statements. When you're strong, you don't say what you're going to do, you do it. The evidence is in what I have done. It's not talk. The talk is that's rum shop. That's the kind of talk that fellas give when you're outside. Boy, I'll fix them and I'll show them. Right? That's useless. Yeah. Right. The action takes place in the field. It is what you do. And that would be my point. But you don't have to. But we'll wait until the budget. You could invite me back after the budget. Then we could talk.
We don't even know when the budget is.
No. The budget is gonna. They're not gonna break. They can't. I mean, morally story. The budget has to be presented before October for government to continue. So even though we don't know the precise date, we know the budget speech is going to be in October, right? And I don't expect it. I don't expect it to be any different. It will be in October.
Yep, I agree with you on that.
Well, that's where we're gonna have to leave it, Mariano. Thanks again for joining us. It's always great talking to you.
All right, take care. Thank you very much for the invitation. Talk to you after the budget.
All right, speak to you then. Take care. Of course, that was former Finance Minister, former Minister in the Ministry of Finance, former Trade and Industry Minister Mariano Brown. Right?
Yeah. Of course, news is next.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio and Guile Caribbean. I'm Derek. Chief Justice Ivor Archie has announced he will retire during this law term, ending a 16-year tenure that began in 2008. Speaking at the opening of the new term, Archie, who turned 65 last month, said he always prepared to step down at that age, even though the retirement age for judges was raised to 70 in 2020. He said holding high office comes with personal sacrifice and stressed the need for fresh leadership from time to time. Calling the role a sacred baton held in trust, Archie said he wants to pass it in the zone rather than cling to it. The Chief Justice emphasized that his decision is about retiring, not resigning, and promised to give more details on the exact date soon. The ongoing foreign exchange crunch in Trinidad and Tobago is sparking sharp debate. Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Besessar says government plans to introduce legislation to make central bank allocations public, accusing banks of operating as Forex cartels that strangle small businesses. She also slammed the Exim Bank, claiming it has failed to function fairly. Former Finance Minister Colm Imbert strongly objected, warning that removing banking confidentiality would endanger client privacy and security. Economist Dr. Mariano Browne described the Forex shortage as a painful reality for all stakeholders, noting that government itself is the biggest consumer, importing pharmaceuticals and fuel, which drive the country's demand. He stressed that the solution lies in earning more foreign exchange, not in blame. Economist Dr. Ronald Ramkissoon, meanwhile, said food and pharmaceutical imports are no surprise, and argued that fixing the overvalued exchange rate is key to boosting local food production. Tobago's birth rate has seen a drastic decline in recent years. That's the word from Tobago House of Assembly Health Secretary Dr. Faith Brednor, speaking at Friday's launch of the new Health Hygiene Lounge at the Division of Health. Dr. Brednor said the island has recorded a steady drop in births over the last 5 to 10 years and described the situation as urgent. She noted that social issues may be driving the decline and stressed the need to reverse the trend. The Health Hygiene Lounge, meanwhile, is a new family-friendly space featuring a menstrual health room and a breastfeeding room. menstrual products will be provided on an emergency or needs basis, while breastfeeding facilities are open to all pregnant and nursing mothers visiting the division. 3 men have been arrested in connection with 2 separate cases of larceny and larceny by trick. Police say in the first case, a businesswoman reported that a man placed a $34,000 order for processed chicken earlier this month. She handed over more than $21,000 worth of goods, but the man never returned to pay or collect the balance. 2 suspects, ages 48 and 27 from Chaguanas, were later arrested. In the second case, a 43-year-old man was arrested in Sangre Grande after allegedly collecting $50,000 from a woman, promising to secure her an HDC house. The joint operation was coordinated by senior officers of the Fraud Squad, White Collar Crimes Unit, and the Eastern Division Task Force. Charges of larceny by trick have since been laid. In regional news, 4 Caribbean community countries have been named on a new U.S. drug watch list. U.S. President Donald Trump, in his annual report to Congress, identified the Bahamas, Belize, Haiti, and Jamaica as major drug transit or illicit drug-producing countries for fiscal year 2026. They join more than a dozen other nations worldwide, including Venezuela, Colombia, and Mexico. Trump stressed that being listed is not necessarily a reflection of cooperation with U.S. authorities, but rather a result of geographic and economic factors that make drug trafficking possible. He said Afghanistan, Bolivia, Burma, Colombia, and Venezuela had failed demonstrably to meet international anti-narcotics obligations. The U.S. president also highlighted the ongoing fentanyl crisis, noting over 200 overdose deaths daily in 2024, and vowed to use the country's law enforcement, military, and economic power to combat drug trafficking. No specific reason was given for placing the CARICOM states on the list. In international news, prosecutors in Utah say the man accused of killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk confessed in a note and text messages to his roommate. 22-year-old Tyler Robinson is facing 7 charges, including aggravated murder, obstruction of justice, and witness tampering. Prosecutors say they will seek the death penalty. According to investigators, Robinson left a note under his roommate's keyboard saying he planned to take out Kirk. He later sent texts admitting to the shooting, saying he had enough of his hatred. Kirk, a close ally of former U.S. President Donald Trump, was killed by a single shot fired from a rooftop while speaking at Utah Valley University last Wednesday. Robinson was arrested after a 33-hour manhunt, eventually surrendering at his parents' home when confronted by his father. Authorities stress Robinson has not confessed to police and remains innocent until proven guilty. And that's news at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with new Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
Pay $1 down on higher purchase plans at Furniture Plus. Enjoy fast approval, low interest rates, and up to 36 months financing. Retirees, self-employed, and permanent employees apply today. Buy now, pay later with Furniture Plus credit plans. Conditions apply.
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop, located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Devantry tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now, what are you waiting for?
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Of course, this is where we wrap it up on the breakfast show. We just have about a couple of minutes left.
Yeah, before we wrap up, Richard, I would like to acknowledge some excellent comments from our commentators this morning. Coltit Finch, Donna Ramlo Chan, Far Rockaway, Jason Samuel, Lester Cragwell, Valerie Mendoza, Carol Guevara, Carlisle Cupid, Derek Billewin, Marlene Saunders Sobers, Lenroy Cunningham, some really good comments on the chat and high in praise of Mariano and certainly this interview. And I agree with somebody who said Mrs. Beckers Robinson could do with someone like Mariano in her corner. Somebody said it. Carlisle Cupid said it, and he is absolutely right. She needs to tap into people like Mariano Brown, who really has been consistent over the years in how he sees things and as straightforward as could be. So Mariano.
Wendell.
Huh?
I'm not meaning you specifically. All the PNM people go, When Mariano Brown used to be criticizing Dr. Rowley and Mr. Imbert's approach to the economy, the PNM people, I don't like to hear Mariano Brown at all. You're always depressing. You're always this, you're always that.
Was I one?
All you're good.
Was I one of them? I don't know that I was. Because I would have been part of interviewing Mariano on several occasions.
Did I not preface it by saying something? People don't understand the English language.
So they don't know what they want.
No, but he has been consistent, which is what I told him this morning. He's been consistent.
That's what I'm saying. When lens changes, people just adjust their lens because you are now according with my self-interest and belief system.
But you realize
not that I think Mariano, I agree with you. Mariano Brown has always been very consistent, and he's a straight shooter, straight talker. This is what it is. This is what you need to do. And stop pussyfooting.
Yeah.
He's very clear on that. So, yeah.
But
I needed to get that off my chest. All the people are good,
It off.
They used to have a commentary section. Mariano Brown coming on, but I switching, me watching.
Yes.
All of that,
I agree.
Right.
I agree. But I don't know that anybody did that this morning. But you are right. They've done it before. Oh God, I can't take it. He always bad talking PNM and all that. I agree.
Yes.
But
I don't forget.
All depends on who's the leader at the time.
But you know, Mariano. He did admit this morning. Yeah, but they're no friend of mine. In other words, I don't like him really, but he like me. But let's face it, Mr. Imbert, as a Minister of Finance, had a little more confidence than clearly what we see now. Time will tell if Mr. Tanku develops into a Mr. Imbert type person.
Well, I think part of Tom Imbert's problems was his communicative skills.
Yeah.
Because I want to believe that Minister Tanku is probably better at communicating the issue. Mr. Imbert always came from a place that came across condescending and arrogant.
Yeah, you're right.
So it came across that way in terms of how he speaks. So it alienated people in terms of the message, because the messenger spoke in a particular way. Those things. So Minister Tanku does strike me as being less condescending and less arrogant in terms of how he speaks. It doesn't come across that way. So I think that would be the difference. Not that what Minister Imber did was wrong. And Minister Imber, I mean, is capable of being, you know, jovial and laughing and stuff like that. But people didn't see much of that side of him. They more see that kind of condescending side of him. And so that, I think that was his problem, his ability to communicate that people will receive the message in a particular way that you want them to receive. So
there's nothing to add to what you just said, Richard.
Yeah. So I'm just curious about why the property tax has not been repealed as yet. And does that mean that people should continue to pay their property tax because your property tax is now due from September? Well, from October, it'll be a new year.
Yes.
No, I think it goes to December 31st, doesn't it? So it's due
I'm not
for this year
sure.
too.
I would have paid last year.
Right. So does that mean that people are required to pay this year? And people who didn't pay last year, are they now required to pay or not? Or what is happening? It's uncertain now because it has not been repealed. And it was such a big ticket item in terms of your platform. Why haven't you repealed it?
Yeah.
Foreign exchange, wanting to know who have foreign exchange in priority to repeal the property tax.
Yeah, but they also, the government has also not said, Minister Tanku at the time had said that people will be given refunds, not so?
Right, and the Prime Minister said, no, that's not going to happen, basically.
Well, she didn't say, no, that's not going to happen.
She basically said that, you know.
Say that, eh? She said, I don't know what Mr. Tanku talking about. But she didn't say, no, it's not going to happen, eh?
That ain't going to happen. But,
well,
yeah, but,
I want refund.
But,
come and tell me, no, I'm not getting it, or give it to me.
You're not getting it, Wendell. You're not getting it. You could beat up. You could beat up like a chicken. You're not getting it. I just clear it up for you. You're not getting it.
Richard Pasabi says, okay.
You're not getting it. So, but because you're prioritizing other pieces of legislation that are less important to people, in terms like property tax, in terms of what you've said that you would do in terms of making people's lives easier, which is what you said on the platform. But you're not prioritizing those things. You're prioritizing. You want to know who gets foreign exchange. What? That's not affecting, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not tangibly changing my life, knowing that information.
Yeah.
So it's weird that the kind of legislation they're prioritizing with regard to the improvement of people's lives as they indicate on the platform. No property tax, no tax on pensioners and private pension, public pensioners and private pensioners, things like that materially affect people in their pocket. You're not prioritizing that by prioritizing, I want to know who gets foreign exchange. No, it seems a little off kilter to me.
Yeah.
Maybe not to some people, I guess, but to me it seems a little off kilter. But what's not off kilter is the Don't Leave Foul to WatchCon, which is on next week, Saturday and Sunday at Central Bank Auditorium. And trust me, if you need some stress relief, you need to come to that play. Tickets are already in all of the usual outlets, already have tickets, so you can get your tickets early, o'clock. So they are available at all of the K-Squared Fashions, West Mall, Eastgate, and Brentwood Mall, at Jubilee Railway in Tunapuna, and Tony's Florals, Chanfleur Auto Services, and Electronics in Arima. Everybody has tickets. You can get your tickets for the show at Central Bank Auditorium, which is next week, Saturday and Sunday. You should not miss it at the end of the month, the end of September. That's when it's on, the 27th and 28th. So looking forward to that. We haven't been to Central Bank Auditorium in a little while, just like Naparima Board. So it's great fun to get back there. You know, that's where it all started. So it's always a special place for us.
It's the romantic venue. I call it the romantic venue. Because once the lights go down, people, you could do a lot in those few seconds.
How did that work out for you?
It worked it out. I'm just saying it worked it out.
All right. So anyway, this is where we wrap up the breakfast show this Wednesday morning. Hope you had a fantastic time with us. We appreciate that you chose us to spend your time with this morning. Have a fantastic day, whatever you do, and remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health.
All right, people, have an absolutely fantastic day. Remember to let go and let God, and it's only one life. You gotta live it.
Oh, certainly. and live it as stress-free as possible.
Bricks and styrofoam.
This has been the Breakfast Show. Thanks for joining us this morning. Speak to you tomorrow, Thursday, and you know that's close to the weekend, which we love. Have a great day, people.
Yeah.